Hey y'all, welcome back. I think y'all can hear me now. I think we're good to go. Hey Harlem, hey Ride, hey everybody. When you come in, we'll give people a second to come in, but how's everybody's Monday? What y'all do today? Good job. Good job. Thank you. That was crazy. I don't even know what happened. Still don't know what happened. Somebody else came in, but I'm not sure who it is. But hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you can get the notifications for sure. The sound is on. No issue tonight. So there's 4 people. Oh, it's not over here. It's 4 people here. Thank y'all for being here so far. I'm sharing, you guys. I'm sharing it out. All right, y'all. So again, happy Monday. We have a lot to talk about. So I'm glad that you guys are back. I'm glad that the sound is on and just hopefully no other technical issues, right? The link is, oh, no, it's not. I almost told a story. But the link is about to be in the chat. So if anybody ever wants to come in, just hit the link. If you could get the conversation get good to you, want to get in here, just come on up. Just hit the link and come on up. Thank y'all for being here. Who else is in here? I can't see who else is in here. Whoever else is in here, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for stopping by. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first story because this is rather interesting. Rather interesting. And then eventually we will get into Diddy, okay? We will get into that. So, all right, let's listen to this.
That Dame Dash once again has my name in his mouth when he should be having Polident tight grip in his mouth, instead holding those cheap ass dentures in place instead of worrying about me. Why do you keep trying to bring me into your mess? You've been sued by everybody. You've lost every single lawsuit and you owe the government all this money, yet you keep trying to bring me into your bullshit. I've been quiet. On the set of Dear Frank, you were wildly inappropriate. You did shit on that set that should have shut it down, okay? Very inappropriate. The way you were carrying on with the women on set and what you did to me during the one scene was fucked up. I've not embarrassed you yet because everybody else has done that job for me, and including yourself. But if you want to keep running your mouth, then I'm going to tell my side. You was a fucking pervert on set. You were disgusting. The things you did with that porn tape and what you tried to do to get me ready for a scene with you while your shunt was showing out of your chest and you thought you was hot, you were not. You were a fat fucking mess. And yes, I understand you see me everywhere, so and you're nowhere except pretending to own ranches that you don't own and borrowing money from people. And you see people that are just flourishing without you, and like you do with Jay-Z, you're just sitting there jealous of everybody else, counting everybody else's money. So now you want to include me in your lawsuit. Nigga, bring it on. You lost every other suit that my lawyer Chris Brown has gone up against you against. You've lost everything. You don't pay rent. You fuck up with all the contracts. You've been sued by everybody and lost because you steal property from people. You found guilty of that, okay? From women. You rent expensive homes to give the image of you being wealthy, and then you default and don't pay your rent. and you've been sued by them, and you've lost those cases too. So why is my name in your mouth? I didn't want my body in your mouth. I sure don't want my name in your mouth. So keep all of us out of your mouth and out of your thoughts. Okay? I'm so sick and tired of your shit. You are the reason for your failure. And Dame, you talk so much shit about people being culture vultures, stealing from the culture and not down with black people and they working for the white man, all while you parade a woman around that is a white woman and you pretend to be that she's Puerto Rican, that you think, oh, it's different, right, with me. And you talk so much shit about everybody else. Not that there's anything wrong with dating a white woman or a Puerto Rican woman, but you go out of your way to pretend that she's not what she is, okay? In my opinion. And I think that's super whack, but that just shows your character. Your character. Your own family don't fuck with you because of what you do and how you behave. You know, I felt bad for you when we were filming because I was like, yeah, maybe you got a raw deal. Maybe like, you know, he is this victim that he claims to be. But I see now from working with you one time and never again that all your failures are your own. It's your own doing. You cause all of the bad shit that has happened to you. You're not a victim. Your ego in your mouth. You still think it's 2003 and it's the big pimping video where you can spray liquor on women and like it's cute. It was never cute. It never gave cute. So,
did she get finished?
You can continue on your little tour and enjoy the attention. And, you know, people that don't really know and haven't been paying attention to you will be like, oh, man, he's smart, man. And the system did him wrong. You're not. You are struggling with that interview. Charlamagne was running circles around you. You went in there so fake. Oh, I don't fool with men. That's why I don't go anywhere with men. And then Charlamagne quickly checked you and said, you came in here with a man. That is a perfect summation of how fucking fake and wacky you are, how much of a liar you are. So keep my name out of your mouth. I worked on a movie that you were given a vanity credit for as director. You gave some input here and there, but Josh Weber was the actual director giving us real direction while you were smoking weed, talking so much shit. Not that there's anything wrong with smoking weed, because I smoke too, but you want to be the director. You didn't want to sign your paperwork, okay? And you were very unprofessional on set. And the one scene that we had where I had to cry about how you treated me and what you did, and you was wilding and out of control, you was highly inappropriate. Did we get past that and did I get over it? Yes, that's why I didn't sue you over it.
So Dame Dash, right. That is, I'm like, she just laid it all out. She's laid it out. Dame is going on. What's wrong with Dame, y'all? What is wrong with Dame Dash? She said this is not 2003 because when you used to spray champagne on women and thought it was okay. She said this 2025 Dame, that don't look good. It never looked good. So obviously Dame is on this tour of suing people. So now he claims to be suing Claudia Jordan. Someone let her know he was talking about her and she clapped back. Like Dame, they're saying, okay, well, Dame is just Dame, right? But Dame, she just, listen, and she said, not alleged, she said, these are things that you lost in a lawsuit on. Like you go to rent houses to make it look like you are rich and you don't have anything. And so you then don't pay the rent and you get kicked out and taken in court and you lost both of them. Did that twice. I mean, I don't know what to say for Dame. She said, but she did say, she was like, I'm never going to work for him again. Never going to work with him again. So I guess he was like somewhat of a director on the movie they was making. And on the set, she's talking about how perverted he was with all the women, inappropriate. Like, that's embarrassing. And she's like, if I'm lying about anything, she said, if I'm lying about anything, sue me. Take me to court. Why have it when I say things? Hey, Mark, welcome back. Why is it that when I don't say nothing? Yeah. Whenever she said, why is it when I don't say nothing? I forgot what I was gonna say, trying to read the chat. However, said you beat me to a 54-year-old and scared he is now irrelevant while others are still doing things. Exactly. I feel like Dame is irrelevant. Like you had your tenure in the business, in the industry, and it's now over. And so a quick way to try to get money is to file lawsuits against people. But every lawsuit that he has filed allegedly he lost. Either somebody sued him or he sued somebody and he lost every allegedly he lost a lot. I'll put it like that, allegedly. And so I don't understand why he can't just let it go, because what I remember is Dame and his son was supposed, which I don't think he get along with his son right now, but they was opening a marijuana whatever, and they was going to sell marijuana because it was legal in California. So I don't know what happened to that, but I think he needs to go find something to be an entrepreneurship that he's good at, because I don't think he's no longer relevant. No one is checking for Dame Dash. Okay. So again, everybody, welcome back. We got a lot of topics to talk about, including Diddy. So we're going to get to that as well. But that's Dame Dash, that's Claudia Jordan. And a lot of times, if I'm being honest about Claudia Jordan, she really don't say nothing until she has to say something. Like people talk about her all the time. I like Claudia. As a matter of fact, I like her. And I like her for the simple fact that no matter what people say about her, she still gets in her bag. She stays working. She stays working. It didn't matter that Foxhole went off and they was let go from Foxhole. This woman stays working. And I like her philosophy that she said that if she comes up, then she likes to bring her friends up, but not just to bring them up, but to really make money. And she's done that for a lot of her friends. And some friends have betrayed her. But she usually don't clap back when people say stuff about her. But I guess he just got under her skin too bad, and she had to come out. Dame Dash is washed up. Nobody wants to do anything with him. Right? It's over. It's over. Like, go sit down, be a pawpaw, and let your kids, do what they're gonna do. I don't know, but nobody's checking for you, Dame. All right, that's Dame. Get back over here. Let me find it. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so we'll do this one. So we haven't talked a lot about David like we want to talk about David, but this is a swatting call that happened in Texas at his Texas home. If you guys remember, they did raid his Texas home. And so this was the swatting 911 call that was made. And it sounds like whoever is making this call is that they change their voice or use something to change their voice. But this is a swatting call used. Swatting caller uses voice changer to report bogus shooting. So he was saying that somebody was unalive just right outside his home. Let's take a listen at this.
This is Eber. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is...
Okay, what's going on?
I heard, some, gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were like right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay, what's your name?
Say it again.
What's your name? Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir? Okay, and why do you believe
Yes,
that somebody's dead?
I don't know. I just heard like a loud scream, and there was gunshots.
Oh, okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Oh, was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was like a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get deputies headed out that way and just confirming you're at.
Okay, so that's the call that was made in Texas where they raided his house. Had to think of a name. So basically, we haven't really like the very latest that we've heard on David is that LAPD has released an official statement that's saying that David is not a suspect right now. Their investigation is still ongoing, so they don't really know, and they really don't know the cause of death for Celeste right now. So they are still investigating it as a homicide, as a crime. But they don't have nobody. They don't have anybody that they're calling a suspect right now, including David. On the other hand, David has lawyered up. He has gone and hired himself a lawyer, I guess, just in case, because right now he's not a person of interest, but he does have a lawyer. He went and got a lawyer and he's preparing himself. So Harlem says the call can still be tracked even if the voices change. Exactly. So where were you calling from? It will tell you that, like, I mean, unless there's a mechanism that he uses or they use, excuse me, to block that as well, if that's even possible. COD takes time when the body is deeply. What is the this? Okay, maybe I'm just a little slow. What is COD? Oh, COD, cause of death. Okay, I got it. I know. All right. So I guess, yeah, it's going to take a long time it'll take a minute in this investigation for them to determine. But for me, even if David is not guilty, I think at this point he should just be prepared and have himself a lawyer, be prepared for that. I'm not sure if he's still like working, if people are still watching him on TikTok like they were. Like, this man has so many followings. But because of all of this that happened now, I don't know. Yeah, it's possible multiple relays routers. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, maybe like maybe it was that important to this person to make that call that they made sure they traced their tracks, right? Or whatever they covered up. So they would put a possible device to block location. I don't know where you would put that, and use the device to change his voice. So anyway, that's David. Like, I don't even know where David is. We know that he packed up and left his mansion. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Here, Mark. So I feel like if this is true that he has done something or had something done or anything, this is all my opinion, this is alleged, then I think that I think he'll be in trouble. It's just too much going on. But again, whether he's guilty or not, I think it was very smart of him to get a lawyer to make sure that if and when the time comes, he'll be prepared. So I want to move on to Trump a little bit because there's a couple of things about Trump. So let's listen to this really quick.
You can hear this thing burning.
So that wasn't the actual interview. I pulled up the wrong one. I wanted to pull up, hey corporate, thank you for being here. I wanted to pull up where Trump had an interview today, right? On the sixth day of the shutdown. Trump was heard, right? He just spoke for the first time. But as far as this one right here, this explosion, Judge Diane Goodstein, they're not saying that he had it done, but they're saying it's very ironic that her house just went up like it was crazy, just blew up. And so there were her and two other people had to be hospitalized behind it. They're still investigating. They don't know what caused the explosion, but they said they do know also that she shot down a Trump administration request. And so what that request was is that she temporarily blocked the state's election commission from releasing its voters' files to the Department of Justice, because those files have people's names, people's address, and very personal information. And so then a couple of days later, her home is blown up. And they're saying they're not sure if it's arson or not, right? They're saying they're not sure that it's not arson, but that house didn't blow up like that just because. Nothing like that's suspicious. But they did, hey Montana, they did have to take her and three others to the hospital because of it. That's crazy. So she was actually at home when it happened. They said the way that her house is built, on the inside, it has like an upper level, like kind of to the first floor. And they had to jump off of that, and people had to go in the back. And there's must be water back there, because they had to take kayaks back there and rescue people to get to the back of her home. Completely engulfed, gas leak, etc. That is arson. That's what it looks like. That's sure what it looks like. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. So anyway, while we're talking about Trump, so Trump did an interview today for the first time in 6 days since the government has been shut down. And something came up. It was an interesting conversation that came up about Ghislaine Maxwell. And he is so phony. Listen, so let me tell you why I say that. He said that, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell asked for a pardon. And the woman was like, yeah, she is the one that's serving time for sexual behaviors on children, whatever she said. So he was like, well, oh, I did not know that did she get denied? And there's like, yeah, she got denied for something she requested. And the woman was like, well, she had asked you for a pardon. Are you going to pardon her? Well, I haven't heard that name in so long. I didn't even know that she requested a pardon, but I'll look into it. I'm going to look into it. And they continue to talk about it. He's like, I don't know anything about it. Did she get denied? Ask him again. And they said he's going to check into it. So what is given is that he's probably going to give Ghislaine Maxwell, probably going to pardon her. And then he was like, I mean, he even brought Diddy in it, saying that Puff asked him for a pardon. He said, but there's a lot of people that ask me for a pardon. But he's fronting like he ain't heard Ghislaine Maxwell in so long. But wasn't it just recent that Ghislaine Maxwell went and had a visit with the DOJ and then ended up getting transferred to Texas to this lower security facility? So that's just not true. He knows that where she is. He knows when she got there. He knows she wants a pardon, and he knows, probably allegedly, my opinion, that he's going to give Ghislaine Maxwell a pardon. Diddy's team is also asking for a pardon. He never, in that interview, and I'll try to find it, he never denied or confirmed that he would give Diddy a pardon in this interview. He just said he had asked him for one. Yes, right. Right said he knows exactly who she is and what is going on. He's the most stable. It's cute. It's so true. But the way he plays stupid is telling. Just like he was like, who is that? Who is that? He just said that he had to go talk to the DOJ to see what's going on. So that tells me you talked to the DOJ. Ghislaine Maxwell went and sat down with the DOJ. So you knew from the beginning till now what she's been asking, why she was transferred, why she gets certain privileges that other people don't get, is because Trump, and you know that she's asked for a pardon, and you know that you're probably allegedly going to give her a pardon. Now, will he pardon Puff just because Puff asked? Because he certainly brought Puff's name up. I don't know. People was like, yeah, he gonna give Puff a pardon, but I don't know. He may let him do his little 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever he's gonna do, and just maybe focus on some bigger fish than the 2 or 3 years. I don't know, but I don't know that he'll give. I don't know that he'll give Puff a pardon. She had to go. I need my glasses on. She had to go the steps. The appeal was denied. So now he will pardon Ghislaine. Exactly. But that's the whole setup, right? That's the whole strategy. We're going to have you go talk to DOJ. We're going to have them deny you initially, okay? We'll have them deny you, but we're going to transport you down here to Dallas or down to Texas where your sister is so you can be by family and you can roam a little bit more freely and have all the perks that a person can have in jail, right? We're going to do that. And then later on, I'll give you a pardon. So, yeah, he's transitional. So what does he get out of it? Yep. It's got to be something. Allegedly. The woman kept saying this too, Harlem, that Ghislaine is an ex-offender in a camp. What ex-offender is in a camp? Exactly. But how is she? Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's exactly why I know he knows. He's the one that got her there. And that's why he's going to give her a pardon too. Maxwell is going to get a what? What are you saying, Mark? Maxwell and Diddy are going to rot in jail. You don't think so? Diddy will be home. She got a lot more years than him, but I don't think he's going to let her rot. I think he will. I think he'll let her out. So you think it'll just be a reduction and not a pardon? Because she's been getting some perks to be a ex-offender. All right. Again, you guys, thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button if you are not already subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the like button and the bell so you'll get notifications. And become a member. It's lit over here. Let me see. All right. So let's move on to the next one. And then after that, we can get into Diddy. Hold on, let me get it sent. Again, y'all, the link is in the chat. If you want to hit the link, you're welcome to come up while I get these on or not. I appreciate y'all chatting in the chat. Appreciate you chatting in the chat. The light is too light. All right, let me get these transferred. Please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and share. Share with your friends. Go get your friend really quick and come back in here. Go get your friends and come back in here. So happy Monday, everybody. If I haven't told you already, hello to everybody. If I have not said it to you, it's because I can't see you in the chat. So I need y'all to chat it up so I can recognize you and say hello. Again, the link is in the chat. All right, let's see if it's here. Yeah. So Trump says post requested. Oh, there it is. I be dependent on Harlem in. Let me see. File. Harlem and Montana to come up, anybody to come up and talk to me. Oh, shoot. No. There we go. So Diddy, we'll go ahead and talk about Diddy. So Diddy, him and his lawyer have requested for him to be at a lower prison. Which, if you guys did, you guys hear Suge's response to his to the sentencing? He said that there's Montana. Suge was just like, they were like, well, what do you want to say about it? Like, what is your opinion on Sean Combs' sentencing? He didn't really get crazy. He said he has found God, so he's not going to say anything crazy, but he gave him some really good advice, what he should and shouldn't do. And so, hey Montana, hey Harlem. So
Hey, how y'all? Hey, what's up?
yeah, but he did say, Suge did say, just you ain't home till you home. So Diddy's gonna have to plan on fighting, possibly. People will be jealous of him. Like, he's gonna have to pay people to keep him safe. What do y'all think about that? Like, you don't think that he, he'll be like this short time, they're not gonna put him somewhere where he's gonna have to do all that fighting and watching his back, is he? Oh, where is it at?
That man ain't. He ain't got to worry about nothing, man. Just because of his status, they're gonna make sure he somewhere in a good place, man. And if he was somewhere in the trenches, he'll still be good.
Because people would take care of him.
Yeah, you got people that'll pay him that will he could pay for protection.
Yep, and well, Suge told him don't rely on that nobody to
But
protect you.
but then again, he had so much power on the street. You probably got people calling in and say, hey, don't let nobody touch this man.
Could be.
Because you got organizations communicate with the higher power on the outside.
I can see that.
But then that's what they saying as well. They saying that there are some people that see it as getting a badge of honor if
to
they
do
do something to
to
him,
him.
if they attack him or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not gonna let it happen. He listen, where he from New York, that's the gang one of the gang capitals. That man untouchable, man. And he talking about then I see what you posted talking about he sent a letter, want a request to a lower
Yep.
level.
I'm just pulling that up. Yep.
Yeah, he going to a lower level regardless because of his time he got left. They're not gonna put him in no level 3 with 2 or 3 years to do. That's for people that got 30, 40, 50 years or a life sentence.
So they saying so the request is let's get this bigger. Here it is right here. It says, oh, I can't see that. I gotta get my glasses on. It says, I still can't see it, it's too little over here on my side. Anyway, let me go back. I'll read it the other way. We delayed again. Can y'all see it, Harlem?
Yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
Whoops. All right. So it says that Dear Judge Subramanian, on behalf of Mr. Combs, we respectfully request that the court strongly recommend a designation facility to the Bureau of Prisons in Mr. Combs's judgment in order to address drug abuse issues and to maximize family visitation and rehabilitative efforts. We request that the court strongly recommend to the Bureau of Prisons that Mr. Combs be placed at FCI Fort Dix for RDAP purposes and any other available educational and occupational programs. Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully, Teeny Garagos.
Oh,
So
then
they're saying that I'm sorry, Montana. I'll say this real quick and then I'll stop talking. But they
go
saying
ahead.
that because of he's not he doesn't have any prior felonies. You know, he's not a convicted felon. This is first time that he's eligible for a First Step Act to get 50% off his time. He's eligible for RDAP, which is Residential Drug and Treatment Program. It costs $500. And then upon completing that, he will get a year off his time. And then he's already spent a year in custody. So they're saying possibly he could be out in 9.5 months and be home by June of 2026. What do y'all
Remember I
think?
told you that? Remember I told you that
That's what they
Saturday?
just, yep, you said it yesterday.
That was Saturday. I said May or June.
Yep. And they
Because he
said
got
possibly July 2026.
yeah, because when you got that low listen, that's not a that's a for a hardship. See what it's not really for about let's play this. It's all right. With him being in the feds, he could be in California, he could go to Wisconsin, he could be anywhere. What that paper is saying is basically trying to get him a hardship to stay locally where his people could be able to come see him, where they won't have to travel so far. Basically, that's what that is.
Jersey ain't far. Well, it depends where in Jersey.
What they're trying to keep him close to where his family could to the area where he's from. That's a hardship, but it ain't up for the judge to give hardships. It's up to classification. When you get incarcerated, you go through a evaluation process where you got to sit and hold at this facility till they have find you a bed space at another facility that's with your custody level. See, he got a custody level right now, and that's what he's saying. Since he, you know what I'm saying, they trying to keep him at a low, try to keep him locally.
Yeah, and to Wright's point, that said they have to prove him. They said yes, and what could hold him back from that RDAP is because
Mhm.
he cannot have a violent crime.
But
Um,
but with that, with all them programs, the judge can request that. That's up to classifications. He got to sign up for that with classification with his caseworker to get put in those different programs.
but
When you go through the system, before you even get a bed space, they got to process you and classify you to see if you are like say for instance, when he go in there, he go into a room, his roommate or the dorm he in probably got the same similar charges as him. They ain't put him nowhere where the murderers at and all them other people at.
Right.
That's
I wouldn't think that.
yeah, that's
For that
you
shortest amount of time.
yeah, you got to get classified and your caseworker put you in those programs.
What's the chat saying? So some people seem to think that he won't get approved for such a program. So even if he don't,
He will because of the time he has left, the time that he has. Now, if he had 20 years or 10 years, then no.
So do you think that if it's well, I guess anything would be worth it. So never mind about that
Yeah,
question.
when you have under 5 years left, that's when you could get into those programs for it's because it's almost like pre-release.
Right.
But yeah, if you'd have caught them 10 or whatever the max that he was facing them 10, then no, he wouldn't have been eligible for that.
But
Until it was
but they still say that there is a like it's a 50-50 chance that he could get it because of his charges.
yeah, he could get it. Yeah, he could get it
But
because of
not,
his
he could also be denied.
yeah, he could be denied his other classifications.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Like right now if that program full, they're not going to accept him until they got more space. He might
Ah,
have to wait a couple of months or maybe a year to it's available space because you got all inmates trying to get in those programs for early releases.
that's true. But you don't think he can pay his way through?
No, ain't no paying your way through.
But in all actuality, like Wright says, he has to be approved. This is again making him comfortable and again him not showing remorse. Where's
Mm,
he showing remorse trying to get out of jail early?
See, yeah, you right. He has to be approved. You got that's fit to be in those programs. You got to fit. What's required is the time that you have left and the disciplinary that you have since you've been incarcerated. Because if you disciplinary free, you can get in those programs. When you talk to your caseworker, she already know. She look in the computer and see your disciplinaries, how much time you got left, all that, your release date and all that. She the one to assign you your prison job if you're working in the kitchen or if you work in maintenance. She the one to assign you everything. If you're a dorm worker, if you cutting the grass, she assign you to everything. All right. So once you talk to her and tell her that I want to get in this program, she's going to give you an application. You have to sign that application and put it back in the request box and turn it in to her or whatever. Once she get it, then she turn it in to the proper people. If the people accept you, who over the program accept you, that's when they turn it into the federal headquarters and say, hey, because you got the headquarters, that's like the director of Department of Corrections of the federal facilities. They take it to the head because you got the head director. And then in that headquarters office, you got the director, the assistant director, the region director, the head of classification, and all that. The head classification lady. So once they do that, then the head classification lady at the headquarters go ahead and make the move so the prison bus can transport you, make all the moves. That's how it go.
dang. But that's how federal work.
That's how federal and state work because after they approve you, they don't want to provide the transportation, get approved for the transportation to transport you.
What was you saying? Was you saying something, Harlem?
No, I didn't say anything. I was just saying, they coming out of the gate and they are not taking he got to take some kind of responsibility for the things that he did. He's
Yeah.
going to jail for a reason. It's not, let me find the quickest way for me to get home. And it's not putting him where it's convenient for his family to travel. His family lives in Los Angeles. California and Miami. They don't
But
live on the East Coast.
but Harlem, when you in the feds and you have that little bit of time or whatever, in some cases it's mandatory that you go to those programs before you're released. So he got to go to one regardless.
So, and I think he's missing that point. Harlem, we're echoing somebody, and I think he's missing the point of the remorse part because he feels like that he said he's sorry in court. I'm remorseful in court. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm sorry, Jane. And that's his accountability. So now that he's been accountable, he feels like he can come and say, listen, put me in a lower facility. Let me get in this class and let me knock this time off. And by July, I can be home. So he feels like he's being remorseful when he says he's sorry.
But he feels that way. The judge doesn't feel that way.
Right.
The judge said that at sentencing. That's why he got what he got.
Yep, you're right.
The judge is making this decision, not us. The judge is making it.
Yep.
Like Mark said in the comments too, like you got a lot of inmates that's waiting to get in those programs, so you have to wait.
That's a part of his suffering because he used to waiting, he used to getting what he want, he used to, paying his way through, and it might not work. Like
And then again, it could, just like I said, it could be thousands of inmates. Now, don't get me wrong, this don't make him special or nothing, but he could cut some of those people, hundreds of those people, because you got some people that's waiting in a program and been waiting for months. And then I might come in and say, man, I want to get in this program. And I have to wait for 1,000 people to get in. I can have my lawyer, somebody to keep calling headquarters and say, hey, man, my client try to get in, and they'll kind of push me on up. Sometimes that work in a good favor.
Yeah.
Because other people don't have the same support that you may have. Some people don't have a family member calling them rushing the process.
Yeah. So just in case y'all don't know, the FCI Fort Dix is one of several dozen federal prisons. They said, but the Fort Dix is the best one. But they said it's one of the several several dozen federal prisons with a residential drug treatment program will best allow Combs to address his drug abuse issues and to maximize family visitations. We already said that. I was trying to find out about the facility. But anyway, for Fort Dix, they said Fort Dix was that they had several of them, but Fort Dix was the best one, and that's why they was requesting that particular one. Like there's other camps he could go to, right? Not just but they said Fort Dix is the best.
Yeah. See, Fort Dix is something like a character-based yard. Just like every yard has a character-based dorm where it's disciplinary-free. You ain't got to walk around with no weapons. You ain't got to worry about nobody robbing, nobody stealing, nobody stabbing, or none of that.
Yeah.
You can live comfortably. You can walk around on the rock with your Crocs on or your flip-flops on. You ain't got to wear sneakers and boots all the time.
Yeah. Bridget said Fort Dix is where she is. Oh, well, you can go visit him. Get on his visiting list, Bridget. That part. Claudette says Trump will let him in the program. I'm telling you, he got some pull. I'm telling you, it might work. Where you think you see in Montana, it ain't gonna work. He gonna have to get in line. But if he don't work,
no. What I'm saying is, yeah, he gonna have to wait and get in line. But what I'm saying is, you got some people, like hundreds of people, he may cut or he might can cut them because he got a powerful lawyer that could call and say, hey, my client waiting to get in this program. Other people don't have the same support system. You got a lot of those inmates that was in there and had public defenders and don't have a real support system.
well, I'm like for Harlem though. His family live in LA. So how's New Jersey closer? His kids live in Los Angeles. So that doesn't put him closer to his family, but they are saying that it gives him more time with his family or something. I don't know, but it's not close to Los Angeles. That's on the other side of the world or the other side of the country. So anyway, it remains to be seen. Like I feel like his lawyers will continue to work for him so they can be paid. So they're going to do everything they can to try to get him where he gets. But at the end of the day, I agree with the fact of showing remorse, that he probably needs to show a little bit more remorse. But for me, if I'm just being honest, he apologized. Like, what else can he do to be remorseful?
Yeah.
Like, just sit down and not say nothing?
Listen, excuse my language, but remorse is out the effing window. Listen, bump remorse at this time. I done caught my time. F you, F the judge, F all them people. I done got my time now. I don't have to face y'all no more. I don't have to answer to y'all no more. Everything with y'all is over with me. So if I show remorse or not, it's still not going to change nothing in my case. I already
Yeah.
caught my time.
Yeah. I read somewhere that he would get visitation with his family and has property in New Jersey. He does. I think he does have there is a home in New Jersey that he has. I believe they probably send them there so his family could still visit him while he's doing his time in jail. Take that. Yeah, I do believe that he does have a house in New Jersey as well. If it hadn't been sold, because I thought that was one of the properties that was being sold. I don't know that. Never know. Anyway, we shall see. We shall see what the verdict will be.
You looked into that with the homecoming down
That's
here?
what that you gave me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling up right now.
That's just so sad. They made an arrest on it already. They
That is,
arrested the dude the next day.
that's
And he
crazy.
number was 18 years old.
Messing up his life.
Arguing about a girl, man.
Yeah.
All them women out there. It's a HBCU homecoming. All them women out there. Thousands of women out there. And you got a gun in your pocket. Man, if I was out there, I'd have had money and rubbers in my pocket. Let's be real. And you out there got a gun in yours. Let's be real.
And so young. All right, let's watch it. I just transferred it over there. Pay Trump money and he'll do anything. He just said, right? Just whoever said that Trump, he ain't gonna just do something and not get something out of it. No home in New Jersey, only California and Florida. Okay, I thought he had a home in Jersey, and I thought he sold it. He had something in Jersey. I thought, okay, but let me get over here.
He did have a home in Jersey. I just Googled it. It was sold because I thought that he had got rid of it.
Okay.
Because the kids were in California with Lala, and then he was in Florida.
Yeah. Is this a newsletter? The escort, Harlem?
That's the escort that's suing Cassie and Puffy.
Yeah, let's listen to this.
He
I've been
wrote a
hearing that.
letter in favor of him being released.
Yeah. But he was saying that he said Cassie and them need to go to jail.
Right.
All right, let's look at it.
Judge a letter recommending that he gets less than 5 years. So, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's going to get the chance to go home and live his life.
So you actually wrote a letter to the judge?
Yeah, I wrote a letter, even though they didn't include it because of what I said in the letter. I definitely wrote a letter to the judge as a victim.
You have it on you?
Oh yeah, I did. I brought it. Yeah. Considering they didn't read it in court, right? I might as well read it for your platform. All right, let's start. So it says, Dear Judge Submarinian, I am writing to your honor as a victim and a witness in the case involving Mr. Sean Combs. My intention in this letter is to respectfully request that the court consider leniency during Mr. Combs' sentencing. I understand the gravity of the allegations and the importance of justice, and I hope to provide my perspective as someone who was directly involved in this matter. I cooperated with the prosecution for 18 months, providing truthful and detailed accounts of my experiences with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura. I submitted evidence, including airline receipts, boarding passes, and hotel information, which were used to strengthen the prosecution's case. I testified before a grand jury where an indictment was returned against Mr. Combs in March of 2025. I also interviewed to witnessing numerous instances of domestic violence involving Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura, as well as the toxic and volatile nature of their relationship. However, I must emphasize that while I do not condone Mr. Combs' conduct regarding domestic violence, I never witnessed Miss Ventura being forced into any sexual encounters. On the contrary, my personal experiences with her revealed a willing and active participant in these interactions. I shared this information with prosecution, but I believe it was disregarded in favor of a narrative that was more advantageous to their case. As a victim myself, I was trafficked across straight lines, contracted an STD, and faced significant emotional and physical harm during my involvement with Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura. My relationship with Miss Ventura was so extensive that I impregnated her, and despite terminating the pregnancy, she continued to contact, coerce, and sex traffic me for years afterwards. The trial revealed she had dozens of men to call. So why call Clayton Howard? Because she preferred me, she enjoyed me, and she chose me. Despite all this, my experiences were overlooked, and I felt silenced by the very system that is meant to protect victims. The male victims of this enterprise were denied justice. Those victims were not Cassandra. No, the true victims of this enterprise were denied justice. Excuse me. Those victims were not Cassandra and Jane Doe. They were the dozens of men, these three, Mr. Combs, Miss Ventura, and Jane Doe, co conspirators manipulated for years, seeking the gratification of their own perverse desires. Mr. Combs is not innocent and should be punished, but not based on a fabricated narratives that hide the truth of the matter to which he is to be in prison. That is not justice. I firmly believe in justice, due process, and despite being denied it often by the law enforcement, I strongly believe that justice should be served in every case. I do not seek to diminish the experiences of other victims. However, I also believe that the prosecution's approach in this case was flawed, as it failed to present the full truth and disregarded the complicity of other parties involved. Miss Ventura and Jane Doe were victims of domestic violence. That is 100% true. But sex trafficking, I beg to differ. I'm sorry, but unfortunately not. I was personally called by Miss Ventura for years, who would be intoxicated, making extremely graphic suggestions regarding the things she wanted sexually when I would arrive and present myself to her. She would get annoyed and even angry when Mr. Combs interrupted us while engaged. She would have sexual encounters with me when he told us to stop and wait until he returned off phone calls he took in other rooms. This would cause arguments and acts of domestic violence also. All of this I reported to the prosecutors. Mr. Combs has already faced significant consequences, and I do not believe he poses a threat to anyone at this stage. I must seek my own justice within the civil courts, as prosecutors have denied me that justice based on my ethnicity and my gender. And that was a problem in presenting the truth of matters. A criminal enterprise did exist. Mr. Combs was part of it, and he most certainly did control it through his influence and resources. But he did not do it alone. He had help, and that help was his personal staff and his girlfriends, who were Miss Ventura and Miss Jane Doe, for extended periods of times. They both testified to wishing to please their lover. Wanting to please takes making the decision, and making the decision means you have the freedom to do it. Miss Ventura preferred me. I know this. Mr. Combs was not a fan of mine in the beginning for years of our association. But over time, we gained a mutual respect through Miss Ventura's preference of me. I do not imply romance stated by stating this, but Miss Ventura did prefer me. She and I had the same birthday, which was August 26th, and she would call me for years to meet and have sexual encounters on our birthday. Based on my years of knowing Mr. Combs, I am confident he will not repeat the mistakes of the past. I respectfully ask the court to consider these factors and grant Mr. Combs leniency during his sentences. Thank you for taking the time to consider my perspective. I trust the court's wisdom and fairness in reaching a just decision. And I overnighted that to the judge and hoped that the judge would get it. And at least finally, my perspective might be introduced to the court, considering they tried to withhold it and they were fair to him. And I'm glad it seems like they was. He got 50 months. I'm satisfied with that for something.
All right. So, right, that's very interesting that you say that, because it sounds like, okay, so you were trafficked by Cassie and Diddy, but you're okay with Diddy now, and you want Cassie to go to jail. Like, shouldn't he be upset with everybody? If that's the case, like, I'm confused. Why is he so angry with Cassie? He has, the whole time I've been following him, I'm like, what is he so mad about that? Like, he wants her to go to jail. He says that neither her or Jane are victims. Put a 1 if you think they are a victim. Put a 2 if you think they're not victims, because it's been so in like half and half. People think they're victims. People think they're not victims. And there's these few people in the middle that say, they could say, we know that they were willing in the beginning, but when they were wanting to quit, then it was time to quit. And so that they became victims, because when they did not want to do it, they were allegedly beat, drugged. We saw Cassie trying to get away from a freak off and that she didn't want to be in. So he just confuses me in that he kind of talks out both sides of his mouth by saying, I was trafficked, but yet it's okay. Puff can get out, but yet Cassie need to go. So a 1 if you think they are victims, a 2 if you think they're not victims. Or did I get that wrong? Yeah, 1 if you think they're victims, 2 if you don't think they're victims. Claudette put 2. Common law, let me see. And that's pretty hard. That's what he's saying. He was like, basically, what he said was that Puff never made any connection with him, never talked to him, they never really had any encounters. It was mostly Cassie. And he's so angry with Cassie. This fly is going to drive me crazy.
But let me tell you something where the prosecution messed up at, right?
Okay.
See, I believe that all of them was conspirators, so they ain't wanted to do it no more. You hear me?
I'm here. We'll hear you.
So let me tell you this right here where the prosecution messed up at. And this was a rookie move they messed up on. I believe they would have had more info on everybody if they would have charged everybody, because at least all of them would have talked and told on each other. And they would have had more info than what they had. Even secrets that wasn't even discovered in the trial would have even came out. Because everybody fighting to get a deal.
It said Diddy.
And I believe that's where they messed up at. Only when they charged him.
Only when what?
When they messed up when they only charged him.
Oh,
because now Cassie them can say anything just to get him a conviction. But if all of them was charged with the same thing, Cassie would have told some of the darkest secrets that was never revealed, and all the other escorts, all of them would have told everything.
Yeah, I feel like he shouldn't have went alone. There were people cooperating and being yes men and doing whatever he wanted to do. And KK she should have been convicted as well. She had a big, huge part of it. You heard her name all through the course the whole time. But it is what it is. For him, for this man particular, this guy right here, this escort right here, like he just has me in, on like I'm confused at what he really wants. We're not. I can't even say that because he is clear. He wants Cassie in jail, but he don't care if Diddy gets out. Diddy's good, and he's glad he
Listen,
wrote a note. He wrote a note for Diddy, who trafficked him.
and then the thing about it is, you know, they would even got the bigger fish that was involved and everything. Because you know how people say it was bigger than this, bigger than Diddy. They would have got the bigger fish because some of those women, if you would have charged them, knowing that they got kids and all that, they would have gave up everything.
Everything. So they just that was just a Diddy was not the. There's the powers that be. There's the
You
real
know,
power.
with this case, they ain't too much had to give up nothing. All thing they had to do was tell what Diddy did to them just to get a conviction.
Mm-hmm.
And it still backfired because he really still walked. He, you know, he threw away a whole life sentence for only 50 months.
Mm-hmm. Claudette, I agree with you on. I agree with you here. I just and Jane made me feel like she wasn't a victim because especially towards the end, she would just make me feel like somebody just overnight paid her or said something to her and she just switched the she just flipped the script.
And and then
Yeah.
another thing is, I believe that the judge really was going to let him walk. You know,
Put it up there. Hold on. Let me put this-
Montana, you still saying the judge was going to let him walk?
I believe that the judge was going to let him walk. The reason why he gave him that little bit of time is because you had the so-called victims claiming that they so scared of their life if he was to go home. He had to take that in consideration because the victims mean everything in court. All right. Then another thing is you had people of the public saying, "Hey, just because he got a lot of money, you gonna let him walk? Why the rich can't be held accountable for the things they do? They always walk away." So now you got all this in his here. So he had to do something. So he won't get the backlash from the public. So he at least had to give him something. You know how many people would have been bashing him all on the news medias and all on the media platforms for letting him walk. So he had to give him at least a little something just to make everybody happy.
I don't know if I want to agree with that because, like I say, the judge said, he said early on Friday at the sentencing that Puffy showed no remorse for the things that he did. His lawyers didn't even show remorse in the letter that they wrote to the court when they asked for Mia not to testify. They to testify at the sentencing to give a victim impact statement. They felt that the lawyers bullied her in their letter.
Yep.
But at the same time,
So the judge, listened and let them have their bad boy production in the courthouse. He already knew from way back when what he was doing.
but,
Prosecution wanted 11 years. Probation said 5 to 7. He said 11 years was too much. He agreed with probation. He gave him the 4.2, 4 years, 0.2 months.
Yeah.
exactly. He just like I said, he didn't want to give that man no time. That man
He
couldn't
did
care.
want to give him time.
I
So
think
so
he
so
did. Yeah.
look,
He wasn't gonna ever let him walk.
but let me tell you this right here. Who you know, who you know go to trial and lose and get the minimum as time as possible. If that judge felt like Diddy ain't was it accountable for what he did, he would have gave him 10 off top.
But he felt like he just was like that just shows me that this judge was fair. Like, even though I feel this way about you, we know what you're being charged with, and I can't take that other stuff into consideration. You know, I can talk about it. I can talk about how you're not remorseful, how you always cause domestic violence anywhere they were, you beat them up, whatever. But I still have to go by these guidelines here. And so I'm going to give you the 50 months. So I never believed that he was going to ever let him walk, but I never believed that he was going to give him a ton of time either.
But listen, Harlem. All right, these facts right here. If you take the state or government to trial, you costing the state or the government money. Then you beat some of the cases, you cost the government money. So and when you found guilty of a charge of trial, you get the max because you cost the government money to go to trial instead of taking a guilty plea. So I don't, just like I said, I don't believe that judge want to give him time. But you had the public saying that they wanted fairness or he should be a whole accountable because he rich and all this other stuff and how the rich get away. Then you got the victim saying they scared for their life, so he had to give him something to make everybody happy. That man could have cared less. If that man,
No,
if Diddy would have walked, he would have had backlash from all media platforms talking trash by him. Then he'd have had Trump calling him "you fired."
no, I'm gonna take you back to the day of the verdict where he was found not guilty on those charges that he would have potentially served life, and he was found not guilty. His lawyers wanted him to leave that day. What did the judge say to Sean Combs? Mr. Combs, you don't want to go back to MDC, right? And he said no. And what did he do? He sent him right back there. He wasn't letting him go home.
He let him on maybe to believe he was, but he wasn't going to let him go.
He had no intentions of letting him go home then or now. You go in there and that's what you're going to do.
Yep, I have to say I agree. I agree. He really has ticked the judge. Really, the judge was irritated with him for all the letters, for all the requests, and then the judge feel like, and you still are not showing us any remorse. You still going to jail. So yeah, he was going no matter what.
Yeah, and back to the day of sentence and the not guilty, the guilty. Baby, I'm coming home. That was the wrong thing for him to say.
And to say, and to who in the world will book something before you know what the judge is going to do, if he's going to let you out or not? Why would you book something and it got out and got back to prosecution? You know they was going to use that against you. It's like almost a slap in Judge Subramanian's face. Like, I'm getting out. You gonna let me out. And I agree with you, Clay, that it was really a win for Diddy because he didn't get the RICO. He ain't spending years and years upon years in jail, but he is paying some time for some of the things that he done. Maybe not enough to some people, maybe just right to some people. But he really should be saying thank you because it could have been worse. It could have been
Just
worse.
enough time for him to get off drugs, allegedly.
Get clean, get your, do whatever you're doing, and then it's gonna be time to get out because I do, and I also, this is just my prediction. I think that he will get approved for those classes for the
I think he will too.
I think that he will get the First Step Act, which is the 50% time off. I think he'll get REDAP. I think they'll let him go do REDAP. And then of course he served that year. So like Montana, you might be right. By July, he may be home.
Yeah, because he got his lawyer, which has got a high power lawyer, go call and say, "Hey, man, I need you. My client's still trying to get in this program." They go push him because the lawyer putting pressure on him. Everybody in the that signed up for the program don't have people calling to put pressure on them.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's where him going ahead of the 1,000 people on the waiting list, that's where he would probably more than likely meet some people in a shower or something.
Possibly. Suge told him, stay ready, keep your other eye open at all times.
Right.
That man ain't got nothing to worry about.
I
That's
hope not.
what you keep saying.
I hope not. I don't want nobody to get hurt, but it's just you have to keep that. You have to keep your eyes open. Why? You gotta stay watching. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will have people there protecting him.
You
But
got because it's more deeper than what he did. You got on them yards. You got people that's like on them yards. You got people that's revolutionary. Like it's a race thing. Like the blacks versus the whites, or the whites or the blacks versus the Mexicans, and all types of stuff. Even though it's gangs, but they group up by race too. Cause all the white boys that's there, they Aryan nations, so they fight against Aryan nations and all that stuff. So he's straight.
yeah, that's why I say he will get the classes. Like I don't think that he won't. I don't think he's going to get turned down from none of this stuff right here that we talked about.
Yeah, he's straight, man.
Please hit the like and subscribe. Yes, you guys, listen. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button,
Because you
subscribe.
got to realize he ain't in there.
Support the channel for free. Hit the hearts. The heart is on the right side. I think if you're looking at your screen, I'm not sure what you're looking at, but don't forget to subscribe. Also, become a member. Think about becoming a member to the channel.
Just like I said, he ain't in there for taking that for no kid, taking that for kids or women. So he good. That's why I say he good. He ain't worried about it. They ain't gonna do nothing to him.
That's right, Mark. They can request it, and I think that his request will be granted on this part is what I'm saying. On the First Step Act and all that, I think that they'll grant that to him. They make the request.
Nobody
I think it's going to be approved. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
nobody has said about no lawyer can make him skip. I said if he signed up for the program, his lawyer could call and push the issue and kind of get him bumped up in the line. And everybody that's in that that's trying to sign up for the program don't have that support system to have their family to call up there. Everybody out there, you got a lot of inmates live on their own, don't have some family support. Like right now, if I want to get shipped to a program yard right now, I can put in my application, but I got to wait. But if I got my mom and my attorneys calling up here every day aggravating them, they gonna hurry up and get me up out of here.
Mm, yeah,
Versus a person who waiting patiently.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Mark.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, I just wanted to thank you, Harlem, for sharing that. Um, good conversation. Good conversation. And it's crazy because we have so many different opinions. Like even us three on this panel, like right now, like some stuff we agree with, some stuff we didn't agree with. And so you just never know. I just think that I'm still going to stand on the fact that even though he wasn't remorseful, even though all those things that we might think, he will probably, once the request is made, I think that he'll probably get approved for it. He's a first time offender. Like he's never had, and I'm talking about if they go by, all of these things. He's a first time offender. He's never been convicted of anything. And they didn't give him the RICO, so you can't add the domestic in there, even though we saw with our eyes, you can't unsee all that stuff. That's not what he's being charged for. So I think
And
he might have a really good chance at getting into the program.
I hate when people say this. No offense to you, Mark, but I hate when people say this about you just a number. No, you're not just a number. You got those people, they call you by your name and your nickname too. They don't call you by your number. Let me tell you something. Whatever yard he goes on, he gonna be straight regardless. You gonna have a lot of women CEOs gonna be throwing themselves on him because of his celebrity status. That's the first time they ever seen a P Diddy and still love him.
Yeah, he still got his
Just like
fans.
just like R. Kelly.
Still got their fans, no matter what.
You gonna have nurses and all tooting it up for him, trying to toot it up. Or what can I do for you for some money? Because they celebrity scrub. That man ain't worried about nothing, man.
Well, we shall see. So how long? So he's already got sentenced. How long will it take for them to make a decision of where he would go? Will it be just when a bed come up? Just whenever the
Where he
proof?
go is he go to like say for instance, like you go to like every facility, every they got the feds got an R&E, which is reception and process or whatever, evaluation, reception and evaluation. That's what it's called. You go there, and when you go there, you go sit there for a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months till there's available bed space. During that time of them being there, they give you your inmate number. They assign you your federal inmate number. You take your federal picture to put online or whatever, your federal mug shot to put online. They take your height, weight, do you basically do a physical on you or your medical condition, and they also do a DNA on you, like take blood, draw blood from you, and put your DNA in the system.
Mm,
And then after that, you just sit and wait until they got available bed space. Then they'll
yeah.
ship you to another yard, to a yard. It's called reception and evaluation.
And is the evaluation place, is that the like main place as well? Like I know Oklahoma State, the state penitentiary, right? Well, you have to go to a place called Lexington, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Everybody goes through Lexington.
yeah,
They don't skip
yeah,
Lexington.
yeah. In that region, and then where I'm at, everybody goes to Atlanta.
From South Carolina to Atlanta?
Yeah, they take you to Atlanta,
Okay.
and if you in North Carolina, you go into Atlanta
Mm,
because that's the region, Florida and all that. You go into Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, then you go to whatever yard they're assigned you to.
yeah. I think I got it all. Let me see.
So in all actuality, isn't it that this is his team that has requested the facility? That's what they're putting in their request to the judge. But isn't it the Bureau of Prisons that actually they determine where he actually goes?
And then the thing about it is
I think so.
with him, he probably won't stay in R&E long because of he a lower custody level. And the reason why I say that is because when you go in at a higher custody level, like say if I come in with a big M or something, with a big M charge, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna take longer for me to I'm gonna sit in R&E for probably months and months and months till bed space available for me because 9 times out of 10 with my custody level, the yard that they put me on is people that got 30 years of life. So 9 times out of 10 people ain't going home on that yard. So bed space is hard to be available. But on the lower level, people go home every month because it's a lower level. So it's bed space always available.
Okay, let's listen to this real quick. This is what this lawyer, this is where I think I heard this.
Was just sentenced to 4 years and 2 months. But how long is he really going to spend in prison? Well, let me tell you, he qualifies for the First Step Act, which means that he only has to serve 50% of his time. He also qualifies for the RDAP program, or the Residential Drug Treatment Program. And once you successfully complete that prison 500-hour program, you get 1 year knocked off your sentence. And he also has over a year of in custody credit. So how much time is he really looking at? Well, by my calculations, just a bit over 9.5 months, which means that he could be released as early as July of next year.
That's where I got that from. This lawyer, this attorney.
As like I said, with his custody level, what he was charged with, I knew that Saturday when he got sentenced Friday. I knew that because he gonna automatically be eligible for programs because of his uh he got a little bit of time.
Yeah. And they're going to consider the fact that he's a first time offender.
It don't
So
matter
that
if he was a first
I
time
think,
offender.
but isn't that why he qualifies for the 50% off? The
No,
50%.
the 50% off is the program qualifies for the 50% off.
Oh, so it has
The
nothing to do with
program,
him not being a
yeah,
first.
the program
Okay.
itself, and then after he completes so many hours, then it takes off another year.
All right, I was trying to get yours up, Montana. Let me see.
And the school's still on lockdown. They still got the school locked down. The students can't leave out their dorms, no nothing.
Okay, let me see. So we're gonna move on from Diddy, and this is about unaliving in South Carolina. We'll end with this one right here. So let's take a look at this video really quick, then we can talk about it.
South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina is on lockdown right now. Just moments ago, campus officials confirmed a shooting on campus at a residence hall. It's unclear if the shooting happened inside or outside the dorm. You're looking at the website for the HBCU right now. Officials say shots were fired at Eugene Suite sometime around 9 p.m. tonight. Campus leaders say students need to stay inside their rooms right now. Campus police are investigating. We have also learned that the homecoming concert that was planned for tonight at 10 at SC State has now been canceled. We will bring you more details on air and online just as soon as they come into our newsroom. The game starts right now with breaking news. South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina is on lockdown right now.
So Montana, explain to us what happened. Like, what happened?
All right, 10 o'clock in the morning, they had a homecoming parade. 1:30 was the kickoff for the game. They won. They had a blowout. You know, they won. They blowed out their opponent. But you had tailgaters out there early from start from that morning. So after the game, everybody's still at the tailgate waiting for the concert because Bootsy supposed to have to perform at 10 o'clock that night for the for the concert. So everybody at the tailgate and an 18-year-old boy started shooting. And a girl was shot in the head.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
A 19-year-old girl.
So is that where the lady was talking about? That was her child?
Yeah, that was her daughter.
So where is that at? You sent that too, right?
I sent you on Facebook.
Yeah. And wasn't she talking on it?
No, that was she was basically she wrote a status saying, yeah, my daughter is gone. Yes, my daughter is gone. And y'all please don't contact me unless you immediate family.
Wow.
And then when they posted, then when the dude got charged or whatever, and then she wrote on his wall on Facebook, said, yeah, the person you was shooting at, one of the bullets hit me and killed my daughter.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I saw. Yeah. But they arrested him the next day.
They arrested him the next day.
Yeah.
And he number was 18 years old.
Yeah,
And the thing about it is I went off on a couple of people. because everybody entitled to their own opinion. You had people had the racist people saying that's what you do when you got all kind of when you got a lot of black people together in one area. You had the white people saying that on the comments when the school posted it.
They
Then you
said what?
had this type of things that happen when you got a lot of black people in one place.
Oh, that's what the
Then that's what somebody
yeah,
white said.
right.
Then you had my classmates and all other people around my area talking about, oh, that's why I stay home. That's why I stay isolated myself. That's why I don't go no way. That's why I stay in the house. This ain't got nothing to do with staying in the house. That little girl was a freshman at that school. She's supposed to be out there. It was her homecoming. It was a person that don't even go to school there that did that.
Oh, he didn't even go to the school?
No.
Ah,
So if you a student and it's your homecoming, you supposed to be out there partying and having fun at your
yeah,
tailgate.
yeah.
And then the thing about it is, just like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with isolation.
Crazy. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy
And that
world.
little girl had, and I think looking at her Facebook, the little girl had a 1-year-old son.
Oh,
Come on, and this is another thing, man. Like, if y'all know y'all got smoke in these streets, why y'all go to public places, man? If you got smoke in the streets, man, please stay away from public areas, man. Because you got innocent people out there that ain't got nothing to do with what you beefing with somebody else. If you knew you had beef while you went out there, knowing you was probably gonna run into your op
and
over a female.
all those people. Sad.
Like from now on, I hope her parents sue the mess out that school. Cause ain't no way out of all them campus security and police on that campus, they got a security gate to every entrance to that campus. Ain't no way somebody got in that gate with a gun.
So when they go to games like that, do they go through a metal detector or anything?
Yeah, they go
Even
through metal.
at a football game?
Yeah, you go through metal detectors. Yeah, you can't bring no weapons, and then some games you got to have a clear bag.
Mm-hmm.
I think they with there you got to have a clear bag.
Mm. Maybe it was already in there,
But just
right?
like I said, they need to sue the mess out of people. And then another thing for future homecomings, this is what I believe that the administration should do. If you're in, and the
Yeah,
public
right.
made it hard. The public made it hard for everybody, and sometimes the good got to suffer with the bad. For college homecomings from now on, if you're not a student, a current student there, or if you don't have proof saying that you are alumni there, you can't be there.
So they take
Cause
the
that,
fun out of it.
because the public take the fun out of it. Cause they
Yeah,
come in there with their other stuff, man.
yeah.
And then if you alumni and you showing up for homecoming, you should book it with the administration so they'll know who you is at the gate coming in. You on a visitor list.
Wow.
And every student there, like on the football team or on the band or a cheerleader or whatever, every student should at least allow to bring 2 to 3 guests and have them turned in on the administration to have them on their guest list. So when they come in, their name would be on that list. And those 3 people that should be on your guest should be on the immediate family, mama, daddy, brother, or sister. If I was the president, that rule would be effective immediately.
And it's a shame, but I mean, you got to figure out what's going to save lives, what's going to keep it out of the things that are supposed to be family friendly. And yet somebody gets a gun in and a young girl is gone now forever. It's sad.
You send your child to a school to get an education thinking she's safe, and she really not.
And that's anywhere, that's everywhere these days. It's sad. So anyway, thanks for sharing that. Like, I appreciate that. Montana. Thank you so much. So with that said, we're going to end our live for tonight. I appreciate everybody coming here. I thank you for the likes. I thank you for participating in the conversation in the chat. And I hope y'all come back. You are all welcome back. We keep it respectful over here, whether we agree or not. Think about becoming a member because it's lit over here. It really is.
Yeah,
So,
right. Oh my bad. I was right sound said wait over a girl. I was about to say, yeah, right, right sounds. Hey, right sounds a man or a man, right?
yeah, he is.
Yeah, right sounds, man. Yeah, that was crazy over a female. It was thousands of females out there, even from other states that came home, even the alumni girls that came home that graduated 2 or 3 years ago. It was plenty of women out there. You ain't heard my comment earlier. If I was out there, the only thing I'd have had in my pocket was goddamn some money and some rubbers. What I need a gun out there for?
Montana.
I'm just being real.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's sad. And for the weakest excuse, it ain't no excuse for it, period. But it's no excuse for that. No excuse. So anyway, we'll try this again. We're gonna go for the night. Thank y'all for being here. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll be right back here, same time-ish tomorrow. We'll be back. So y'all have a good night. Happy Monday. And we'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Good night.
Good night.